are going to do scene 4, right? So it's act 2 and scene 4. Okay. So it starts from like the cardinal's apartments in Rome, enter Cardinal and Julia, right? So this scene starts from the cardinal's apartment in Rome, and there are Cardinal and Julia there. Okay. So it starts, Cardinal. Sit, thou art my best of wishes. Prithee tell me, what trick didst thou invent to come to Rome without your husband? So this is the dialogue between Cardinal and Julia. As I told you in the summary when we were doing, so Julia was the wife of Castruccio, but she was a mistress to Cardinal. So here there's a dialogue. Now she is with the Cardinal. So now he's asking, Cardinal is asking, like, you know, because she was with him, not with her husband. So he's asking to Julia, like, how did you manage to come here to Rome without your husband, right? This word mean that I pray you, tell me that how did you manage to come here without your husband? Okay, then Julia, my lord, I told him I came to visit an old anchorite here for devotion. So she gave the reason for a religious purpose. She said to her husband, like she is going to any religious hermit, to any religious person for any religious activity. Okay, so she was using a religion as a pretext, you know, to come to Rome and live with Cardinal Julia. Mm, okay, now here, Cardinal, thou art thou art a witty false one. I mean to him. So he's saying like your art or whatever the way you have done, this is false one, but he's referring to false one to her husband Castruccio. Now Julia, you prevailed with me beyond my strongest thoughts. I would not now find you inconsistent. She is saying to Cardinal that I'll not find you inconsistent, uh, unfaithful. Okay, then Cardinal, do not put thyself to such a voluntary torture which proceeds out of your own guilt, right? Now Cardinal is saying that um, because Cardinal had a relation with Julia, so Julia said, I believe in you, and you are faithful to me, but Cardinal said that uh, in actual you should not talk about my, you know like whether I'm faithful or not. You should see yourself, actually you are not faithful, because she was having a relation with someone else than her husband. So Julia, how my lord? So Julia is asking how I'm not, faithful. So Cardinal, you fear, you fear my uh, my constancy, because you have approved those giddy and wild turnings in yourself. So Cardinal is saying that you are doubting my faithfulness, but in actual it's you who are unfaithful. Julia, did you ever find them? So now Julia is talking about overall women, like are they like this? Are they unfaithful? So Cardinal, soothed generally for women, a man might strive to make glass malleable, ere he should make them fixed. So here Cardinal is saying truly, like truth, you can translate is like truly. Generally, for women, a man might strive to make glass malleable. Yeah. He is saying like generally women are, not faithful, or it's difficult to find faithful women, right? And that is what he wants to say here. uh, and another thing, another meaning which you can take from this thing, like a man might strive to make glass malleable. Yeah, he should, first he should, know malleable something to make something soft. So it is saying the first man should know about women, then he should make them fixed. Then he can um, live with them, or he can have relation with them, or he can marry them. Julia. So my lord, Cardinal, we had need. Okay, we had need go borrow that fantastic glass invented by Galileo the Florentine to view another spacious world in the moon and look to find a constant woman there. So here he's talking that in order to find a faithful woman, we must do one thing. Like glass here, he's referring to telescope invented by Galileo. So he's saying that we should, you know, we should try to find out such faithful woman somewhere else in a space, because they are not here on earth. So Julia, this is very well, my lord. Cardinal, why do you weep? Are tears your justification? The self some tears will fall into your husband's bosom, lady, with a loud protestation that you love him above the world. Come, I love you wisely. That's jealousy, since I'm very certain you cannot make me cuckold. So here he, uh, after hearing such comments, uh, because that was not a kind of legal relation of Julia with the cardinal. So she also didn't get the respect which he should have. um, after hearing these remarks from the cardinal, so she started weeping. So but now cardinal is saying that your tears, you know cannot be the justification that you are someone who should be respected, because you are when you are with your husband, you are going to do the same thing, and you are going to prove him like you love him more than anyone else in the world. But here, cuckold, you cannot make me fool, or you cannot, um here we can say, that yes, you cannot be fool, or you cannot betray me, in a sense that I know that you are already married, and you are not, and I know you very well, you are not in a kind of, we don't have any kind of legal relationship. So I know about you, so you cannot make me fool. Julia, I'll go home to my husband. Cardinal, you may thank me, lady. I have taken you off your melancholy perch, bore you upon my fist, and showed you game, and let you fly at it. I pray thee kiss me. When thou wast with thy husband, thou wast watched like a tame elephant. Still you are to thank me. Thou hast only kisses from him and high feeding, but what delight was that? 'Twas just like one that hath a little fingering on the lute, yet cannot tune it. Still you are to thank me. So here, Cardinal is saying that you you have married to your husband, but in actually wants to say that you are not happy with him, because you cannot have any physical player from him. So it is me who has done this thing for you. You can only get your, here he's saying you can only get kisses from him, and you can only feeding. It can relate to some economic um, kind of things related to, like expenditure or something. You can get money from him. So it's me that who has given you the true love. So, Julia, you told me of a piteous wound in the heart and a sick liver when you wooed me first, and I spake like one in physic. So she is saying that whatever the cardinal was, cardinal was blaming to Julia for everything, for having a relation with him. But now Julia is saying that it was you who wooed me first, and who said that you love me, and you are love sick. So then cardinal, okay, so the discussion was going on. So there is cardinal, someone comes there. So who's that? Enter servant. Okay. Rest form from affection to thee, lightning moves slow to it. This is how they are showing the whatever it was there in the theater. So they're talking about the lightning, like lightning became a little bit dimmer than before. So seventh, Madam, a gentleman that's come post from Malfi desires to see you. So seven says to Julia that a man has come from Malfi who wants to see you. Cardinal, let him enter. I'll withdraw. Okay, he exits. So Cardinal leaves. Seventh, he says, your husband, old Castruccio, is come to Rome, most pitifully tired with riding post. So Seven tells Julia that Castruccio has come from Rome uh, to meet her. He exits. So Seven leaves. Enter Delio. So instead of Castruccio coming first, Delio enters in the room. Uh, so Julia, Signor Delio, just one of my old suitors. So she says aside means she was not directly, talking to Delio, but she was saying to herself, like at one side, like he was one of her old suitors, right? Someone who also um, loved Julia, right? Senior is a person, as we use in English, we use the word Mr. for someone, a respected person. So that in Italian language, it's Senior. Delio, I was bold to come and see you. So Delio is saying to Julia, Julia, sir, you're welcome. Delio, do you lie here? So Delio is asking whether you are living here. You have, you have kept your lodgings here. So you are living here. So Julia is saying, sure, your own experience will satisfy you. Now, our Roman prelates do not give lodging for ladies. So she's denying. In actual, she was living there and she had relation with the cardinal, but here she's uh, uh, pretending to be a good woman. So she's saying that, from your own experience, that Romans, they don't give, are here at this palace, they don't give lodges to ladies. So Delio, very well. I have brought you no commendations from your husband, for I know none by him. So Delio is saying to Julia, with respect to her husband, Julia. I hear he's come to Rome. Okay. Then Delio. I never knew man and beast of a horse and a knight so wary of each other. If he had had a good back, he would have undertook to have borne his horse. His breech was so pitiful, so now he is he is targeting Castruccio. He's talking about Castruccio, uh, like he's comparing him. He's talking, I never knew man and beast of horse and knight. So he was talking about the overall conditions as he saw Castruccio sitting on the back of a horse and coming to Rome. Like as we have already talked about Castruccio's nature, like he was a kind of important person, the person who was incapable of making others to believe in her capabilities, or make any kind of decisions. So he was a kind of incapable person, effective person, right? So can you hear me, Ritza? Hello,
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Are you understanding?
Yes.
All right. Julia, your laughter is my pity. So on the comments of Delio, Julia is saying, your laughter is my pity, Delio. Lady, I know not whether you want money, but I have bought you some. So Delio was giving some money to uh, Julia. Money, we can say, as we give some bribe for to get something back, something in return. So Julia, from my husband. So Julia is asking that this money is from my husband. Delio, no, from mine own allowance. Julia, I must have the condition ere I be bound to take it. So Julia is saying, I want to know that what is the reason behind this money. Delio, look on it. It's gold. Hath it not a fine color? Julia, I have a bird more beautiful. He wanted to convince Julia to take the money and do whatever Delio wanted her to do, but she wasn't, agreeing with him, and she was giving, um, her answers as she wanted to. She had other answers to refuse him. So Delio, try the sound on it. Julia, lute string for exceeds it, right? So he was talking about, about the color of the coins and the gold which he gave to Julia. So he was talking that how it has a good color. So I have bird more beautiful than it. So when he was talking about the sound of that, whatever he gives, that gold, so she said a lute string for exceeds it. So she wasn't getting convinced. She wasn't happy with it, whatever he wanted to give her, and he whatever he wanted in return of that. So Julia is saying, a lute string for exceeds it. It had no smell like cassia or civet, nor it is physical, though some fond doctors persuade us feed it in calyces. I'll tell you, this is a creature bred by. So she is saying this is none of my business, something like this is not which can attract me, whatever uh, the thing you want to give and whatever you want from me. So she said that this is kind of a spice. So she's talking about the smell of it, and this is a animal which has from which we get the kind of fragrance. So she's saying it doesn't have any kind of smell, nor it has any kind of medicinal benefit. And it is doctors like you, foolish doctors, they want to persuade us, but I'm not convinced with the thing whatever you are asking for. So enter servant, your husband's come, hath delivered a letter to the Duke of Calabria, that to my thinking has put him out of his wits. So servant is saying there to Julia that your husband has come and he has given any letter to the Duke of Calabria, means Ferdinand, and then he's saying that to my thinking had put him out of his wits. So that letter has put the Ferdinand out of his wits. He exits. So servant leaves. Julia, sir, you here? Pray let me know your business and your suit as briefly as can be. So Julia is saying to Delio, Delio, come to business, come to the point, whatever you want. So Delio, with good speed, I would wish you at such time as you are non-resident with your husband, my mistress. So he wants Julia as his mistress. Julia, sir, I'll go ask my husband if I shall, and straight return your answer. This is how Julia responds him. She exits, tell you. Very fine. Is this her wit or honesty that speaks thus? I heard one say the Duke was highly moved with a letter sent from Malfi. I do fear Antonio is betrayed. How fearfully shows his ambition now. Unfortunate fortune. They pass through whirlpools and depots to Dushan, who the event way ere the action's done. So here he's saying in this line he was talking about Julia, whether this is her wit, her response is her wit or her honesty. And then he has you know started thinking about Antonio, like he's considering the letter which the Duke has got from Malfi. Now he's he has some fears regarding Antonio, like Antonio's ambition. Like he's talking about Antonio is betrayed, how fearfully shows his ambition now. His ambition of marrying to Duchess, how is it unfolding? The way, he's going to be the a kind of victim of the things, right? So this is how this act 2 and scene 4, it ends here, and now we are moving to act 5, right? So this is act 5. Okay, it's it's also in Rome. So enter Cardinal and Ferdinand with a letter. Now they both brothers are there in the palace with a letter. Okay, Ferdinand, I have this night digged up a mandrake. So Ferdinand is talking about, like, mandrake is a kind of plant, poisonous plant, but here it is referring to um, uh, digged up a mandrake. So in actual, he is not talking about any plant, poisonous plant, but he's referring to the letter which he has got from Castruccio, right? So Cardinal, say you, Ferdinand, and I'm grown made with it. Ferdinand is saying, I'm grown made with it, with what I have got. Cardinal, what's the prodigy? What is the matter? What is the thing or the bad news? So Ferdinand, read there. A sister damned, she's loose in the hills, grown a notorious strumpet. So he is talking about the character of his sister, and like he's saying that she has become from promiscuous, right? A kind of person who indulges into sexual acts are right. So he's saying that our sister, damned, she's loose in the hills, grown a notorious strumpet. Strumpet is he is calling his sister as prostitute. So Cardinal, speak lower, as he was shouting with the word. So the Cardinal is saying, speak lower. Ferdinand, lower. Rogues do not whisper it now, but seek to publish it as servants to the bounty of the Lords, right? As servants to the bounty of the Lords allowed, and with a covetous searching eye to mark who know them. Oh, confusion seized her. She had had most cunning boards to serve her turn, and more secure conveyances for lust, than towns of garrison for service. Now he is saying, Ferdinand is saying that lower, why lower? Why should I be lower? Rogues, we can say dishonest people. So he's referring to his sister. So rogues do not whisper now. Now we should not whisper about her. And whatever she has done, it should be, rather it should be published. Everybody should know about what she has done, right? And he's saying, as servants to the bounty of the Lords aloud, as servants, they sing the songs of the Lords aloud. So now it should also be loud and clear to everyone. Everybody should know about the acts which he has done, with the crime which he has committed. And with the covetous searching eye to mark who know them, oh, confusion seized her. She had had most cunning boards to serve her turn, and more secure conveyances for lust than towns of garrison for service. So he is saying that he's talking that there are people who are helping her, and there are people who are also accomplice in her accomplice or in her crimes, and who are providing her such people. He's talking about, like, he don't know about the husband of the Duchess. So he doesn't know about the husband of the Duchess. So now he's saying that who are they? There are some people. Boards are the people. Um, uh, Board in actual we call a woman who is the head of a when there is a kind of brothel where prostitutes live. So she takes care of that. She's the woman in charge of that brothel, so where sex women, they live there. So he's saying that there is someone who is helping her in securing, someone for her, and actually he wants to know the person, like who is the husband of her. Cardinal, it's important, is it possible? So Cardinal is asking, is still not believing what has happened. Can this be certain? So Ferdinand, Rhubarb, oh for Rhubarb, to purge the scholar, here is the day to prompt my memory, and has it shall stick till our bleeding heart I make a sponge to wipe it out. Rhubarb is another kind of shrub, a medicinal plant, which provides cure to choler. Choler is a humor which causes anger, right? This is something which causes anger to a person. So he's asking for for that uh, medicinal cure for the thing which he wants to avoid his anger, because he is very much angry. Ferdinand, whatever he has gone out of control, so whatever he has heard, so he's saying, is the curse state from my memory, and here it shall stick till our bleeding heart. So he's saying that till our bleeding heart I make a sponge to wipe. So he he is referring to her, like, to kill her. He's saying that to prompt my memory, here it shall stay, here it shall stick till our bleeding heart I'll make a sponge to wipe. So he's saying that, I'm going to make, he's talking about the heart, like he's going to kill her. Is the heart, it pumps the blood. It works just like a sponge, as we have a sponge which has a lot of, which soaks into water, which absorbs a lot of water. So it has a lot of water, and when we are going to squeeze it, so we take out all of its water. So he's talking about something just to kill, her to kill his sister. Cardinal, why do you make yourself so wild, a tempest? So Cardinal is, why are you going so mad? Why are you behaving in this way? So Ferdinand, would I could be one, that I might toss her palace, about her heirs, root up her goodly forests, blast her meads, and lay her general territory as waste, as she had done her honor. So he's saying, I'll destroy her. He's saying, I'll completely destroy her, as she has destroyed her honor. Okay, Cardinal, shall our blood, the royal blood of Aragon and Castile, be thus attained? Attained means stained or tainted. So, Aragon and Castile, you can call it, actually, in actual, these are the two regions, right? In um, near to Italy. So and these here he is referring to the royal families which ruled these two regions, right? Aragon and Castile, which ruled there. So he's talking that royal, how can that royal blood of Aragon and Castile be stained like this? So Ferdinand is saying, apply desperate physic. We must not now be balsamum but fire, the smarting cupping glass, for that's the mean, to purge infected blood. Such blood as hers is a kind of pity in mine eye. I'll give it to my handkerchief, and now it is here. I'll bequeath this to her bastard. So here his Ferdinand is saying that it's it's not uh, using uh, you know balsamum, call it ointment, right? So he is saying, now we cannot you know be soft with her, rather we have to be we have to, so he's saying the smarting cupping glass, so uh, we have to take the revenge, like he's talking about revenge, like the smarting cupping glass. This thing, the cupping glass was used to suck out the blood, to suck out the infected blood. So he was so much angry on the act of his sister. So he's talking that he's using, he's going to take out her infected blood in real, he wants to say that he really wants to kill his sister who has given birth to such a bastard. So he's referring to her child, because maybe he thought that she was not married, but she has given birth to a child. So cardinal, what to do? And then Ferdinand, why? To make soft lint for his mother's wounds when I have hewed her to pieces. So he's directly, he's talking to, to cut her, to cut, his sister into pieces. Like he wants to, he's referring to that child, to his sister's child again. He's saying, why to make soft lint for his mother's wounds when I have hewed to. So he's saying there is a need of doing anything for his sister, because he just wants to kill her. Cardinal, cursed creature, unequal nature, to place women's hearts so far upon the left side. Right now, Cardinal is saying, he's cursing the creation of his sister, and he's talking generally about women, like like women, they are deceivers, and he is talking about the unequal nature to place women's hearts. So he's talking about the women's hearts, like they are placed to the to the left side. So left is something which indicates to kind of deception. So he's saying, uh, like women, they are deceptive, they deceive. This is their nature. Ferdinand, foolish man, that ever will trust their honor in a bark, may ever so slight weak bulrush as a woman, apt every minute to sink it. So he's saying that those are foolish men who believe in them, who believe in women. They are just like a bark, a very thin stick. And here, a bulrush is kind of plant which grows in water, deep waters. So he's saying that women are just like kind of the bulrush, who are always ready to sink in the water. They are always ready to to lose their honor, to deceive others, uh, right? So this is how he is talking about his sister Cardinal. This ignorance, when it hath purchased honor, it cannot wield it. So this is saying, this is the, this is what the ignorance,